You know, for close to 2 years now, we've heard almost nonstop talk of Russia's meddling in the 2016 presidential election.
But what you may not have heard is Russia has also been interfering in something that hits really close to home here in Oklahoma, the oil and gas industry. 9 Investigates' Alex Cameron is on this story.
I have here the indictment.
Even in the face of documented evidence of election interference, Russian President Vladimir Putin says it didn't happen.
Russia, as a state, has never interfered with the internal affairs of the United States, let alone its elections.
While it hasn't received the same attention, a House Science Committee report released in March documents similar efforts by Russia to use social media to influence U.S. energy policy.
It is a form of economic sabotage they've been trying to perpetrate against our oil and gas industries.
Oklahoma Congressman Frank Lucas is vice chair of the committee that produced the report.
Literally, it appears between 2015 and 2017, the Russians and their minions have sent out somewhere in excess of 9,000 electronic messages using social media, attacking the U.S. energy industry.
Facebook posts like these, encouraging protests of the Dakota Access and other pipelines. Posts intended to stir up anger on both sides of the climate change debate, and posts to create distrust of oil and gas, and specifically of fracking. All linked, the report says, to accounts set up by the Internet Research Agency, a company established by the Russian government to spread Russian propaganda.
You know, there's multiple angles why they would do it.
Industry spokesman Chad Wormington says the main reason is economic, to disrupt the U.S. production boom, which is threatening Russia's dominant position in the European gas market.
Was the industry aware that this was going on?
Yeah, there was some inkling that it was.
As far back as 2015, Oklahoma oilman Harold Hamm told an audience in Chicago, Russia's spent a great deal of money over here to cause a panic in the United States over fracking. Hamm declined to be interviewed for this story, but he and others in the industry say normal debate over U.S. energy policy is perfectly appropriate. But
when you have foreign governments coming in and trying to, suppress an industry and frankly suppress a nation who's providing, economic and energy security to other nations and the stabilizing force that's a huge problem that all Americans and Oklahomans ought to be concerned about.
Now, the report does not go so far as to call for sanctions against Russia, but does call on Americans to be more aware of the tactics Russia has used and thus more skeptical of divisive posts on social media. You can see the report for yourself on our website. For 9 Investigates, I'm Alex Cameron.